Okay, I know I said I wasn't going to make another video about the changes they made to Pokemon TCG Live, but then I realized that more videos means more money. Also, there's a lot of things we have to cover that weren't mentioned previously. Let's start with the changes to the Battle Pass. I do regret not being more diligent towards tracking the Battle Pass rewards of old, but how was I supposed to know they'd make it worse with every expansion? Well, I've been here since day one, so yeah, I probably should have known. Anyways, with Twilight Master Raid in earlier sets, you'd get 1500 credits at Tier 0 of the basic Battle Pass, plus 1250 credits at Tier 0 of the Premium Battle Pass. With Stellar Crown, they removed those 1500 credits on the basic Battle Pass, making it much tougher for new players to build decks, as 1500 credits is the equivalent of 2 Pokemon EX and a few trainers. You still received those 1250 credits at Tier 0 on the Premium Battle Pass, but as we all know, the Premium Pass is now gone. Yes, instead of 50 tiers on the basic pass plus 50 tiers on the premium pass, there's 75 total tiers on the Surging Sparks Battle Pass, which will be the norm going forward. This begs the question, what the hell is a Sphene and why is a Alolan Exeggutor swinging it? Also, are the 75 tiers better than the 100 combined tiers we had in the past? For Stellar Crown specifically, here's a list of everything you received from completing the entire Battle Pass. Keep in mind that while the Premium Pass was 600 crystals, you got 500 of them back. The main things were those free decks at Tier 0, but you also received 90 packs, 75 of which were from Stellar Crown, 2500 credits, those 500 crystals, 1600 coins, 2 collector crates, and 24 ultra rare cards to help improve the free decks. Pre-Stellar Crown and Shrouded Fable, the total credit gain from the Battle Pass would have been around 4,000, but of course they had to nerf it because they hate us. With Surging Sparks, here's everything you get for completing all 75 tiers. The Pikachu EX deck is automatically added to your collection, so there's no need to manually claim it from the Battle Pass. If you can't find it, head over to Decks, then scroll all the way down. It'll be the one labeled Stellar Pikachu EX. As for the free Archaludon EX deck, that isn't earned until all the way down at Tier 33. You'll also notice that coins are gone because they will be removed entirely from Live on December 13th. Doing a full comparison, previously you unlocked 2 free decks right away, so that's a plus for the old pass. You also earned 15 extra packs, so the old pass wins again. And even with the 1500 credit nerf from Stellar Crown, the old pass still wins on credits gained. Meaning yes, it's even harder for new players to craft cards they need now. So with the past 2 main sets, they've decided to target newbies. And I don't know why either. As for the improvements, you get more crystals from the new pass, though that has more to do with the fact that coins are gone and you receive crystals in their stead. The number of ultra rare cards unlocked from the pass is relatively the same, but the true upgrade is in the form of collector crates. You used to get 2 from every battle pass, now it's up to a whopping 9. For those who haven't watched my past videos, collector crates or god packs have 9 cards in them, and the last 3 are guaranteed to be ultra rares. You can also get a 10th god pack by reaching Arceus League. Ultimately, I have to give the nod to the old battle pass. Having access to that second deck at Tier 0 was great, 15 extra packs is always fun, and a lot of the good rewards in the old one were front-loaded. With the new pass, you don't get all of your extra Archaludon cards until Tier 62. And they backloaded the new pass, putting the best rewards between Tier 63 and 74, including 7 packs and 400 crystals in the final tier. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for making improvements to TCG Live. But this is a step back, and it seems like the dev is doing everything except making Live work properly and adding Expanded. To point out one more thing about the Battle Pass, they removed the ability to instantly purchase the first 15 levels. This is a good thing because the Premium Pass Plus was an absolute waste of crystals that nobody should have ever bought. That being said, you can still manually unlock tiers on the Battle Pass for 200 crystals each. If you thought that was the end of the Battle Pass changes, you're wronger than Ash when he traded Butterfree for Raticate. Don't panic when you see that daily quests now reward just 220 XP each, down from 300 and 500 before. Previously, it took 1000 XP to unlock a new tier on the Battle Pass. Now it's 500 for the first 10 tiers, then it jumps to 750 once you reach tier 11, and tier 31 and on requires 1000. From a mathematical perspective, only receiving 440 XP from those daily quests does mean you're leveling up slower this way than before. But the daily quests aren't your main source of XP. Because the developer went absolutely nuts and cranked up the XP gain from winning battles to 11. Or I guess they multiplied them by like 6. For my first ever battle in Surging Sparks, I received a massive 600 XP, and that's not even the maximum. Plus, losing a battle gives you more XP than winning used to. Basically, if you had a mental breakdown and decided to play live all day, you could complete the Battle Pass after 100 or so wins. You have until Prismatic Evolutions on January 16th to reach tier 74, so you shouldn't do that. but getting yourself to tier 33 and the free Archaladon EX deck might only take a week of regular playtime now instead of a full month. Unfortunately, climbing the rungs on a ladder quickly only matters if the reward at the top is good. To give you an idea of how bad the rewards are early in the new Battle Pass, this is what I got for collecting the first 27 tiers all at once. In total, I received 500 crystals and 570 credits. Yes, there's a good amount of Surging Sparks cards and packs, but that's all luck whether you get good pulls or whether you get a bunch of Dawn Fan. The 500 crystals is 40% of a Shadow Rider deck, so it's not bad, while the 570 credits isn't even enough for a single EX Pokemon, from 27 freaking tiers. Put yourself in the shoes of a new player. Then throw them out because shoes are evil. How are you supposed to do anything with 570 credits? Just a few months ago, you'd get nearly 3,000 credits from the very first tier. Now 27 is a sixth of that. It's just another inexplicable anti-player move. One talking point that's popped up recently on stream is that maybe they're prepping live for microtransactions. With all this talk about economy changes and system updates, it's possible. If it does happen, I'm all for it if it means they put it towards development and make live as much of a priority as Pocket. But everything I've ever seen about live convinces me that it'll be done poorly. Getting back to the daily quests, they both reward 45 crystals now. That means a daily total of 90 crystals, up from 60 before. Essentially, you now earn crystals 1.5 times faster, making it easier to get the 1,250 crystals needed to purchase the Shadow Rider VMAX Lead Battle Deck, which is still the best way to credit farm. If my math is correct, it now takes 2 weeks to afford the Shadow Rider deck this way, down from the 3 weeks it used to take. That's a huge win for everybody. To finish up here, while you still earn coins after battles for some reason, profile level up rewards now only give crystals. I reached levels 118 and 119 and received 100 crystals each, while level 121 gave me 200 crystals. So it appears they've removed both coins and credits from profile rewards and just went with crystals. On top of that, where you used to receive a measly amount of coins for every pack code you redeemed after your first 400, now you get a measly amount of crystals for doing the same thing. A viewer with a severe head injury posted this image on Discord showing that their 511th pack code only gave 15 crystals. Something a lot of people messaged me about is being bumped all the way down to Poké League with the November ranked ladder. They updated the dev letter after a couple of days to confirm that with every new ranked ladder, every player will be reset to Poké League. Additionally, they added a line about the decision to cut the game timer from 25 minutes to 20 minutes, saying most games are decided long before 25 minutes have passed and will be looking at other ways to make sure more time is spent playing the Pokemon TCG and less time is spent not. As for climbing the ranked ladder, it takes far fewer points to reach Arceus League, whereas it used to be like 1,500, now it's down to just 550. And win streaks are a thing now. So while your first win is 10 ranked points, your second win in a row and beyond is 13. I will say that I'm not the biggest fan of having these random numbers now for my ranked points instead of going in increments of 5. Another thing you may have noticed is that you don't lose ranked points for losing. Previously, depending on the rank, a loss would cost anywhere from 5 to 20 ranked points. With the update, losses in Poké League, Great League, and Ultra League mean nothing. It's weird, but it does make sense considering that you get kicked all the way down to Poké League with each reset. Ultimately, with the new structure, if you lose 1,000 games and win 39 every month, you still make it to Master League no matter what. And it's less if you string wins together, as you get 3 extra points for any wins in that streak. The only time you lose ranked points in live now is in Master League and, for some reason, Quick League. But we'll ignore Quick League since that only affects brand new players. For each level of Master League, the ranked point loss ranges from -2 to -6, making it a little tougher to get to Arceus League and claim those 600 crystals in one collector crate. This change to the ranked ladder is both good and bad. The good is that you're not punished for losing a hard-fought battle in the middle leagues. The bad is that if your starting hand isn't perfect, you can just concede and there's no repercussions. One more thing I have to bring up is the fact that it doesn't seem like the developer rebalanced the matchmaking rankings. Previously, Arceus League players were in the 1200s or 1500s or whatever. Now they're at 550. So before the update, you could be at 1200 and face someone at 900 and it wouldn't be a big deal, you'd both be good players. Now I'm regularly facing people with 40 ranked points despite me being in the 300s. It seems like another oversight that needs to be corrected quickly, otherwise it creates an unwelcoming environment for new players. Either that or everyone's playing Pocket and I'm just getting matched with the few people still crazy enough to stick with live. If you missed my previous video, we are getting some unknown new feature in live that will give Arceus League players something to work for. Right now, you earn nothing for a win and nothing for a loss, meaning the best players don't really have anything to play for. As I alluded to earlier, while some of the changes are improvements, the developer isn't addressing the major issues with Live. They're spending their time rebalancing an economy when they should be fixing the card select glitch, the numerous freezing issues, and adding expanded, something that was promised 3 years ago. In the in-game announcements for these changes, they did say these are among the first of an exciting new suite of system updates coming over the next few months. Again, yes, some of the changes they're making are positive, but we want a functioning client. We've been asking for basic things like muting your opponent for 3 years now and having the final prize cards being taken automatically. But no, they've decided to spend their time punishing new players and rebalancing the ranked ladder for the second time in 8 months instead. For those of you who've been waiting impatiently for Expanded and Live and you're seeing all these changes that have nothing to do with Expanded, I have some news. But it's not good. They used to have a message in the announcement section that Expanded would remain in beta for the 2024 season, meaning that Black and White and X and Y cards wouldn't be added. Well, now they've completely removed any mention of Expanded from the announcement section. So, that's not good. I wish I could break up the bad news with some good news, but this is Live, so let's talk about time. I made a big stunky about time not being coded into Live because they completely ignored Blaine's quiz show. Well, I stand corrected, time is playable in Live. Except they did the absolute worst thing possible. Instead of forcing you to use an HP slider like they have for someone like Annihilate BX, or when you choose mulligans, 5 potential HP options are given. But those 5 are randomly generated, as you can see from these screenshots. So while my opponent had to choose between 60, 70, and 80, the 3 possible HP values for every Char Cadet, I was only given 70 hit points as an option, plus all those random ones that don't work for Char Cadet. So RNG decides if the answer is obvious because there's only one possible answer, or if you have to choose between the various applicable options. But none of them live up to the spirit of the card where you have to blindly guess the HP of the named Pokemon. If you thought the release of a brand new set could help the dwindling Twitch viewership for Pokemon TCG Live, I've got some more bad news. I checked the categories for Pocket and Live an hour after Surging Sparks came out, and yeah, it wasn't good. Pocket had literally 15,000 more viewers. Obviously, Pocket has a huge marketing budget around it, and it's seen creators from Unite, Marvel Snap, and the physical Pokemon TCG flock to it, but this is just sad. Especially when you add in the fact that after just 10 days, Pocket hit 30 million downloads worldwide, which is more than Pokemon TCG Live has had in 1,000 days. And yes, Live turns 1,000 days old in a week. I know I clown on Live endlessly because it deserves it, but seeing how popular it could have been if they put money and care into it makes me a sad panda. And you can't blame the creators who've jumped ship. Pocket is new and fun and has constant events and an actual roadmap, and it's where the money is. Live is old and busted, refusing to even work in the lead up to Surging Sparks. But I would never abandon Live. I know where my bread is buttered. Sure, I may have checked out another bakery for a little bit, but Live can always get a rise out of me. Looking ahead to the future of Live, if you missed the announcement, coins will be removed on December 13th, which is also when we'll get the next major patch. It doesn't mean they won't release an emergency patch if there's broken cards from Surging Sparks. It just means there won't be any new features until then. As a reminder, up to 5,000 coins in your account on December 13th will be converted to crystals at a 4-to-1 ratio. So if you have the full 5,000, you'll get 1,250 crystals, which is the exact number needed to buy the Shadow Rider League Battle Deck. If you have more than 5,000 coins, spend them on deck cosmetics, as those will cost crystals beginning on the 13th. Avatar items, meanwhile, will become free for everyone. Speaking of broken cards from Surging Sparks, all things considered, this was a successful launch, making it, I think, the second successful set release in Live's 3-year history. Don't get me wrong, there's still several major issues with the game, but in terms of new problems, they're not game-breaking. So far, what's been found is a glitch where the new Esper doesn't reveal your opponent's hand. That doesn't really affect anything. The main issue has to do with Ditto and Terrakion. Ditto is able to copy Terrakion's Cavern Tackle endlessly, creating a possible auto-win scenario since Ditto becomes immune to damage. There are ways around Ditto's immunity like Dust Noir and attacks that ignore effects and damage counters, but this is an exploit and the developer needs to address this. Will they do it in a timely manner? Who knows? Oh, and they issued an errata for Minior and Venusaur and Snivy GX. It's nothing major, they just changed the wording so that their abilities can be activated more than once per turn. Though, since they require attachments from hand, it's a scenario that will almost never pop up. I think I covered everything that's changed with PTCGL this past week. If you have any lingering questions though, feel free to ask in the comments. And stay tuned for a video focusing on the Charizard EX League Battle Deck releasing on Thursday, which will include an updated credit farming guide designed to show you the best way to spend your crystals.